Good morning. P1 parents, a very warm welcome to Zhenghua Primary School on this very unusual first day of school. We do not have P2 to P6 students here today so that you are able to come in and be with your child on this very historic occasion for your child, first day of school in P1. And we have a very rich and interesting program lined up for you. So we are going to begin now, even though I know a few parents are still coming in, a few parents and students are still coming in, because I do not want to hold up the program. All right, it's quite a tight one. And the first part will be a recap of what we have been have said to you in November. All right. So as you remember, in November during the P1 orientation, we spoke to you about our school mission, vision, and values. And so our vision is to nurture leaders of character, critical and creative thinkers, and lifelong learners. And our vision is to nurture the whole child in a caring, innovative, collaborative, and vibrant learning environment. Our values, our RISE values, resilience, innovation, integrity, care, collaboration, and excellence. And these are values that are very important to us, and we also name our classes after the values. Our motto is to be the best that we can be, and this motto can be found actually on the school uniform that your children are wearing. As I said, in November, our focus is really to empower our students to learn for life, not just to be prepared for exams, but to learn for life and to thrive in the 21st century. And our commitment is to nurture the whole child and to prepare our students for life and lifelong learning. So this is what our school stands for and what is very important to us. Likewise, in November, I also shared with you our school parents partnership philosophy, that parents are our partners in education. So you are very important. A meaningful collaboration with you supports our students' holistic development. And that's why we have invited our PSG to be here to speak to you. I also said in November, the value of partnership, we also welcome your constructive feedback and seek to address your concerns. So I just want to repeat again, please do not hesitate to contact your child's teacher if you have concerns or queries regarding his or her well-being and progress, or the school office or school leaders regarding school matters. And we really hope that you will join the PSG and be very active as parent volunteers. We have a very vibrant and active PSG. We appreciate a PSG a great deal. And we invite you to be part of the family and to be deeply involved in the life of your child in school. I also said in November, what we would appreciate from parents, 3 C's and 1 B. So as you know, your child is very young, just entering P1, and sometimes your child may tell you things that alarm you, right? Your child will come home and tell you certain things and maybe even start crying. I am a parent myself. My children are now 12 and 16, but I remember what it was like when they were in P1. And there were times when my son, my elder child, would come home and cry and say this happened on the school bus and my, so-and-so bullied me. The important thing is to keep calm, right? Keep courteous, that's the 2nd C, and then communicate your concerns to the teacher directly and constructively, right? Very often, it is a misunderstanding. So for a start, give the teacher or the classmate the benefit of the doubt. So that's the B, all right? 3 C's and 1 B. So as a parent, that's what I did. Even though I know the principal of my son's school, I don't call the principal, I call my son's teacher and let the teacher know what happened. And the teacher will look into it. And then after investigation, the teacher came back and told me, oh, it was some kind of misunderstanding. Okay? So very often there's more than one side to the story that my son didn't tell me. sometimes they are young, they can only see their point of view. All right. So we just want to let you know that we don't have perfect teachers, but we have teachers who care for the students and have the students' interests at heart. Because sometimes your child may tell you it's something that the teacher said that he felt very upset about, but actually the teacher meant well, and the child could have misunderstood the teacher. All right. So parents, we hope to build that trust with you. The most important thing is to establish the line of communication with the teachers and share with them how you feel, what happened, and they will definitely look into it and get back to you. All right. Now, this is something I didn't remember, and this is about the transition from kindergarten to primary school. How many of you are parents with children going to P1 for the very first time? Can you just raise your hands? Okay, the teachers will be able to see. Yeah. All right. So some of you may be feeling a bit nervous, a little bit excited. The good thing is that if your child has been to kindergarten, going to primary school will be a lot easier because they have already gone to kindergarten. They have understood what it is like to be away from you. Okay, so for all our children, we want to welcome them, make them feel safe, but we also want to let you know that it is normal for the children initially to have adjustment issues. So I remember my son coming back telling me, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so hungry, because kindergarten was about 3 to 4 hours. Now primary school is a lot longer, the school hours, right? So how we are easing the children in this week for the P1s, as you know, today it's only 3.5 hours. And then the rest of the week, they will end at about 11 so that they will be able to go home earlier. So we slowly adjust the hours. But you will find from next week onwards, they will say, I'm tired because they're not used to waking up so early, perhaps, not used to the longer school hours. They may say that they're hungry coming back. Or they may say that I may not have friends, I have no one to go to recess with, maybe later on, because initially they will have recess buddies. P2s will be joining them for recess and helping them out. So if your child has adjustment issues, these are quite normal. All right. And the important thing is to be able to encourage your child, to support him or her. And our school counselor will be speaking to you more about this later. All right. So the other thing is that different children will have different levels of school readiness. And some children come to primary school already being able to read and write. Some, like my son, could read a little, could not write very much. And then there are some children who perhaps have difficulties reading and writing. We have the whole spectrum. It is quite normal. It depends on, which month of the year you're born and also the development of your child. So what will happen is that if your child has difficulties reading initially, your child will be given additional support. So we want to assure you that your child is in good hands. And then you will find that the children really progress and develop amazingly in P1. This is what I saw in my children. So there were so many things that they couldn't do initially in terms of reading, writing, counting. And then you find that, wow, by the second half of the year, they can do so much. So let's be patient. And so the Ministry of Education has taken this into account. And the primary one syllabus is such that we go back to basics. We look at, for example, for math, numbers 1 to 10, in terms of English, looking at, phonetics, at looking at the alphabets and key sight words and all that, so that we allow for time for students to get up to speed, because different students will come in to primary one at different levels of school readiness. So we want to assure you that everyone will feel supported, and we are adhering to the MOE curriculum for P1 students so that everyone feels ready. Now, for the first 2 weeks, you will find that a lot of the focus is on helping the students to adjust to school in P1, to different routines, to the teachers, to getting to know their their own classmates, getting used to recess and buying their food. So that's the focus. And then once the children are more settled, we will be looking more at the academic learning as well as all the other aspects of holistic learning that we shared earlier. And today is going to be really rich because you will hear about the very wide range of programs that we have, not just in terms of academic subjects, but in terms of character and citizenship education, PE, art, music, our applied learning program, and our Learning for Life program, which is dance arts education. So we hope that your child will have a rich experience here and enjoy school. So our commitment to P1 parents is that we are focused on easing the P1 pupils into primary school. That is our focus. All right, we're not going to rush into a lot of English and mother tongue and math, but we want to help them to feel safe and secure, have friends, build relationships with teachers and classmates, and get used to the routines of primary school, right? And as I shared earlier, our commitment is to have an engaging, child-centered, values-driven curriculum that really puts your child at the center and helps your child to have the joy of learning. You will get regular updates on your child's progress from your child's teachers, all right? And we also manage homework. So we have a homework policy for our P1 to 6 students. So for P1 students, we have a homework policy, and we make sure that the homework given adheres to the homework policy. Sometimes if your child is able to complete the work in school, there may not even be any homework. Okay, so there may not be more than at most half to 1 hour of homework a day. All right. Now, as you know, there is no ability banding for class placement in P1 to 2. And so we have a mixed gender and classes. So we make sure that our classes, we have a good diversity of gender and races. All right. And there are also no weighted assessments in P1 and P2, and also no above level testing. So there are no weighted assessments. Sometimes your child may have informal class tests, formative assessments. They might have show and tell, quizzes. They may do self-reflection, self-assessment, peer assessment. But we just want to assure you that there is not, it is definitely not above level. So it is pitched at P1 for your child. And I want to emphasize, our child does not expect parents to provide tuition. So if your child has difficulties with learning, it is our responsibility to support your child as much as possible. Okay, so in P1, we do have learning support programs for English and for mathematics, but we will not be having remedial programs yet. But from P2 onwards, students will be given remedial support, especially those who need that support for their subjects. Okay, and so we want to work with you hand in hand to be able to support your child's learning and growth. All right. Now, kind of support that we like from parents are 2 C's, 1 G. Right. The first C would be character education. So partner us in the character education of your child. The second C is childhood, to allow your child to enjoy his or her childhood. So even though we don't give the children a lot of homework in P1 or P2, Please don't load them with a lot of extra classes. It's to allow them to really have a childhood to play and to develop social skills through play and through other recreational activities like reading and sports, right? And the second, and the G is having a growth mindset, nurturing a growth mindset in your child. Now I'm going to elaborate. Character education, we believe values are both taught and caught. So we teach values explicitly in our school, and we hope that you will reinforce our school values, our RISE values, when teachable moments arise, right? And give your children opportunities to live out our school values. So for example, they should be helping out with household chores, taking care of their siblings. I remember our head prefect from 2019, he's now an RI, Ryan, was one of our top students as well as in the rugby team, head prefect, and he had younger siblings. And even though he was in P6, he took care of his younger siblings. All right. And likewise, in the hawker center, when you're with your child, remind them to return their trays and to keep the table clean. Now, one of the things that we do in our school and throughout all schools in Singapore is that our students are involved in wiping down their tables in the canteen, and your children will be taught to do this. So we want to keep our spaces clean, especially with COVID-19. So all students participate in a wipe down, and in the class in the morning, they will also learn the first thing that they do is to take the temperature and also to wipe down their own tables to keep the space clean, right? So give your children opportunities to live out our school values, and let us be role models for our children because they are watching us. So when you come to our school with them, when you speak to our security guards or to our school staff, do speak to them all with respect and courtesy because they are also learning. Your children are watching and learning from you. And parents, if you're upset about something, do be mindful about your language and express your concerns tactfully through appropriate channels. Now, developing a growth mindset in the child, people with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed. They believe that their abilities are not fixed, but that their abilities can grow. And those with a growth mindset value the process of learning, right? And are more willing to see challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. You can read more about this. You can watch Carol Dweck's TED Talk, very famous TED Talk about the growth mindset. We will upload the slides on our school website and you will be able to access the this TED Talk. Okay, so in our school, we believe in a growth mindset. We believe that our students' abilities can be developed, and we want our students to value the process of learning. So, a child is learning something new, sometimes learning something difficult, or maybe when your child has done well in something, right? Instead of saying, "Oh, you're so smart, you're so clever, you're so talented," you praise the process, you praise the effort, you praise the strategy, the focus, the perseverance, the improvement. Then this will encourage your child to want to put in the effort, to want to try, to want to improve. If you praise the intelligence or the talent, next time when your child encounters something difficult and he or she may think, well, if I don't do it well, then I'm not smart, then I don't want to try. Okay, so we want to have a growth mindset about things. So praise the process, not the intelligence or the talent. So the second C is to allow your child to enjoy his or her childhood. So let's not be kiasu. Allow your child to enjoy her childhood, time for play and hobbies. Take a long-term view and think, how will he or she best be prepared for life? And what is best for his or her growth and development? So For example, you can stimulate your child's curiosity and love for reading and learning. Even if you can spend 15 minutes a day reading to your child, reading a story, you know, talking about something that she enjoys doing, this will be really wonderful for her. And the long-term view, values education, developing social emotional skills are very important for our children's development. And so these things are actually more important for their growth than a lot of tuition and a lot of drill and practice of practice papers. Okay. Now, finally, something I tell parents each year and also our P6 students, redefining success. I once heard a parent educator speak to our parents, and she defined success this way. First, a successful personal life, so healthy, meaningful relationships with family and friends. A successful school life is about improvement and growth, not about getting straight A's, but about being the best that you can be, our school motto. And third, success is about the good that you leave behind. How do you want your friends and teachers to remember you? This is what we ask our students to think about. Have you done something positive and meaningful for others? Okay, so that's what I have to share with you today. And you parents, I would have loved to be in school personally to welcome all of you. But unfortunately, I had a cycling accident last Sunday, and I had to undergo surgery to fix a broken ankle and torn ligaments. So I will be away from school for a few weeks, but I'm still able to keep in touch with you and with our students. I'll be speaking to the students tomorrow and over the next few days because of technology. So we're very thankful that we have learned how to use Zoom and Google Meet well, and I will be able to keep in touch with our students and teachers, even though I'm recuperating from home. All right, and I hope to be able to meet you personally when I'm back in school. Now for our next segment, we would like to invite Madam Radin, the chairperson of our Parent Support Group, our PSG, to speak to you about the PSG. And we hope that, you know, as many of you as possible can sign up to be members of the PSG. The PSG is very vibrant. It's not about just coming in to help the school, but you get an insight into school activities. There's a very strong PSG communication and level chat. So if you have queries, you know, feedback, you can also do it through the PSG, and we will address them promptly. And so it's a wonderful thing to be part of this PSG community. And so I want to invite Madam Radin to speak to you and share with you about the PSG. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lok, for your inspiring sharing. We now have members from our parent support group who will share their experiences with their children at our school. So please sit back and enjoy the video clip specially prepared for you. Thank you.
Hi, good morning to Principal, Mrs. Loke, Vice Principal, Mrs. Lim, and Miss Mary, teachers and parents. My name is Radin, Chairman of PSG at Zhenghua Primary School. I'm a mother of three. My two elder kids, which is a teen, is an alumni of this school. I have a younger son who is in P5 this year. Here today, I would like to share with all of you on my experience as a PSG member of the school. As a PSG member in the school, I'm able to contribute my time, energy to work closely with the school in school events and programs. Apart from school events and programs, we also do organize our own programs such as motivational workshops, team bondings, and coffee talk sessions with all our other PSG members as part of our getting to know sessions. As a PSG members in this school, not only help me to promote a stronger bond between my children and I, but also able to learn more about their learning environment. And at the same time, I'm also able to have a two-way communications with the teachers to work together with them in educating my children. With that said, I would like to encourage parents to join us as a PSG member at Zhenghua Primary School, as the most overwhelming keys to a child's success is the positive involvement of us parents. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Mrs. Loke, Mrs. Josephine, Mr. Ang, Miss Mary, and our PSG teacher in charge, Madam Suriana and Madam Muru, teachers and parents. Dear parents, very welcome to Zhenghua Primary School. I am honored to have the opportunity to be here to meet everyone. My name is Audrey Leong and the Vice Chairman of PSG. I signed up as PSG since my first child entered P1 as an ordinary member. And now I'm entering to my 7th year in PSG. I became more actively involved when my third son entered this school 2 years ago, and he is P3 this year. PSG have a strong partnership with the school, and the objectives of PSG is to work with school as a team and to support the school in their programs for the students. There are many events and programs throughout the year. Parents can contribute to areas where you have the skills or expertise, such as art and craft, reading, singing, sports, and many more, which parents can support whenever you can. But due to the COVID situation, the school program have reduced almost half, and some have changed to virtual program like this. And limited parents can come forward to school due to the safety measure. And I'm very grateful and thankful as the school have arranged all the safety guidelines and restrictions and take whatever precaution to ensure the well-being of all students and staff once the school reopened after CB last year. And PSG worked closely to make sure other parents and students are aware of this safety measure. Not forgetting the many parenting talks organized by school that I have benefited from. Here, I would take the opportunity to thank the teachers' efforts during the tough period last year. I am so glad that I made the decision to join PSG, as it gives me the opportunity to show a more positive attitude to my own children and have built a stronger bonding with the school teachers, other PSG parents, and school students in the PSG community, like a family and good friends. For those who are interested to join us as a family, do let us know the areas you can contribute and interested in. You may also register your interest via the PSG registration QR code that pasted on the general office. And for those who already submitted, your interest will be contacted soon and you'll be added into a WhatsApp group. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
A very good morning to Mrs. Loke, Vice Principal Mary, teacher in charge, Madam Suriana, and school teachers, and also the parents. A very good morning to you all. Okay, my name is Jamal. Okay, I have not read any script yet, but let me briefly tell. I'm father of 5. Okay, I joined PSG um, since 2015. Okay, and I'm coming. It's my 7th year joining as a PSG. I lead this PSG. I'm also the head of Dads at Changhua, who actually leads a group of fathers, encouraging more fathers on board to join the PSG, and we identify ourselves as Dads at Changhua. Okay. The reason that most of the PSGs are all moms, so I want fathers to get involved on the children, child development. At the same time, a stronger bonding between father and child. At the same time, the fathers actually knows the environment of the children upbringing in the school, and at the same time, fathers also aware what's happening in the school and get a close relationship with contact with the school teachers. And we know about our child development, how the improvement of those, how the children get improved in their studies. So this is one of the way I always get involved. So other than that, I also conduct some programs. I think the earlier PSG members has actually briefed. As a father, we have some other programs like Breakfast with Dad, Sleepover with Dad, that actually are not only through academic or follow the school curriculum, but also enjoyment and get a better relationship and understanding between the father and child bonding. So this is part of me. This is the program that we conduct. Please do join us, okay, as a PSG at Dads Changhua. We have our own father's Facebook also. If you can actually Google it on Facebook. We call ourselves at Dads at Changhua, okay, DADS at Changhua. So we are running by all these programs to get involved in the child's life, the child development. So do join us. I'm actually welcome more dads to come aboard in the PSG so that we can work together and understand our children's life, and at the same time grow together the best we can be. Thank you.
Good morning, parents. Welcome back. We will now have our sharing session by our key personnel. We will now begin with English language by our HOD for EL, Madam Lim. Madam Lim, please. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, parents. I'm going to share with you the programs in Changhua for English language. Okay. All right, this is our vision for the Changhua students. We want all students to be proficient in the English language. And our mission. Okay, so this is the school mission. We want the students to acquire good language skills, develop thinking skills, and inculcate good values. Right, so we do this, okay, by focusing on the 4 language skills that we have: listening skills, speaking skills, reading skills, and writing skills. These are all achieved through engaging activities, okay, and activities that stimulate their thinking skills as well. All right, so the classroom environment in a P1 classroom is actually focused on children's interaction rather than teacher talk. We want the children to be able to express themselves, okay, and communicate with the rest of the children. The classroom is also enriched with children's written writing and written language, okay, and it's filled with various reading materials for children's use. All right, so this is a brief outline of the Stella Lower Primary syllabus. There are 3 parts in the English language teaching. The first one is shared reading experiences. These are students reading the big books, storybooks in the classroom together with the teachers. Okay, after the reading, we will also have shared writing experiences where the students can write together based on experiences that they have gone through in the classroom. Okay, and then finally, we have language activities that focuses on grammar, vocabulary, and listening skills in the classroom. Okay, so some of the titles that we have includes this. It is advisable not for parents to get the students to read the books in advance because we want the students to have the prediction skills, okay, and a sense of excitement before they start doing the textbook with the teachers. All right, so basically the EL syllabus will focus on getting the students to achieve these 21st century skills, that is to become an empathetic communicator, to become a creative inquirer, and also a discerning reader. Okay, so parents, so what do you think you can do for your child? So earlier on, our principal has shared that you should read to your students, okay, read to your children, okay, so you need to provide reading materials at home. You can go to the library to borrow some books, or you can encourage your child to borrow the library books from the school library. Okay, so role model by reading and encouraging your your child to speak good English at home. Okay, get your child to read books of their interest. So when you go to the library, get your child to choose their own stories so that you can then talk about the characters or the plot in the story. Okay, at the end of the reading, you can help to stimulate your child's thinking by discussing alternative story endings or asking them to insert a twist in the story, for example. Okay, so I will move on with the sharing for mother tongue or for mathematics.
Madam Chai will share in the area of mathematics. Thank you.
Good morning, parents. I'm Madam Chai, HOD Math. Today I'll be sharing about mathematics curriculum with all of you. Okay, the vision for mathematics department is for every student to be a thinker and a resilient problem solver. Our mission, there are 5 of them. By the end of P6, we hope to build a very strong mathematical foundation in the students. We also want to foster the joy in the learning of maths, to engage them through various learning experiences, to develop reasoning and communication skills in the students, as well as to give them many opportunities to appreciate and apply math in real-life context. Okay, this is the mathematical framework by the MOE. You will notice that in the center, you see mathematical problem solving, and then there are 5 different concepts that are very important, which the children are expected to achieve. We have metacognition, attitude, skills, processes, and concepts. Okay, there are 3 different very important aims for P1 mathematics, or generally for mathematics. Number 1, for them to acquire mathematical concepts and skills for everyday use and continuous learning in math. We want to develop thinking, reasoning, communication, application, and metacognitive skills through a mathematical approach to problem solving. And number 3, to build confidence and to foster interest in mathematics. Okay, just to share with all of you, the parents here, this year the primary 1 is actually doing a new syllabus, 2021 syllabus, and you may have noticed that there is only 1 standard textbook for all primary 1 students. No matter which school you go, all of them are using the same textbook. So the sequence of the textbook is like this. Term 1, basically numbers, addition, subtraction, shapes, and ordinal numbers. Term 2, numbers to 20, subtraction, addition up to 20, picture graphs, and number to 100. Then you look at semester 2, they expand to 100, addition and subtraction within 100. Then you go to talk about length and multiplication. And they'll finally in term 4 learn division, time, and money. There are some changes in the P1 content this year. The non-standard unit of length, where the children use paper clips, ice cream sticks to measure length, is no longer there. Okay, they will only do standard unit of length in centimeter in P1. Straight away, they will learn how to measure things in centimeter. For time, there are changes, use of digital clock. There's no longer talking about use of half past. Children usually have a lot of problem talking about quarter past, half past. So from this year onwards, they are going to learn how to tell time to 5 minutes. Okay, and for shapes, P1, they will start learning half circle and quarter circle. Okay, from P2 move to P1. Whereas for patterns, they will only start to learn patterns in primary 2. Okay, in Zhenghua Primary School, there are some approaches we are using. We have this very important approach called CPA approach, Concrete Pictorial Abstract Approach. Concrete means using different kind of manipulatives or resources in a concrete way to introduce concept. You can see from the pictures that, that children are using some number cards. Okay, you can see the clocks, the ice cream sticks, the blocks, all these are different manipulatives provided by the MOE. The student need to touch the materials and touch the concrete materials to learn before they actually do it visually or abstractly. Basically, students definitely learn by doing something on their own. The second approach, playing, is still very important. They are primary 1. In fact, until primary 6, they still like to play, enjoy playing. We want to learn through play. Through different games, children learn to communicate their reasoning skills. You can see they're playing some tangrams on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, they're playing some games called IQ Logic. Okay, in our school, we have this program called PALM, Play and Learn Math at Classroom. Children will get to play different games while learning math. And starting from last year, we actually have something called Mathematics Carnival, where the children go to different stations to play different games and learn math. Okay, we also do math or apply math to solve real world problems. We want the children to find meaning in the learning of math, not just from the textbook. They need to know what they learn is applicable in the real life. So children learn to apply concepts and skills learned in real life context. You can see the children actually measuring the basketball court using the measuring tape. Okay, actually measuring, finding the area, perimeter, or so on. On the right hand side, you can see the customized math trail booklet developed by our teachers for our students. So P1, we have this P1 Math Learning Trail at school. They also do a project called IAM, Integrating Art in Math. So using art to show what they have learned in mathematics. Okay, assessment plan. How do we check students' assessment? Basically, there are some learning checklists, topical review, mental sums. There are journal writing. There's different performance tasks for the children to do. They need to do problem solving, or rather they solve problems starting from term 2. And what we have learned for the year is basically a review test for them. Okay, for parents, we would like you to partner us using CPA, playing math games, and focus on applying math in the real context, which I mentioned just now. Different things you can do. In primary 1, it's very important for children to count. So they can practice counting steps when they climb up the staircase. They can also practice counting the number of sweets in a packet. You can even ask them to estimate or guess how many sweets are there. The focus is about speed and accuracy. Comparing is also very important. They can compare the number of people in each queue at the cashier. So they decide where to queue, whether to buy, is it worthwhile to queue, is it too long? They also can compare the number of items in the packet. Same thing about worthwhile, whether this packet has more sweets than the other packet or so on. So for parents, we'd like you to listen to their way of comparing, then you can give them some ideas or show them to acknowledge what they are doing, getting them to reason out how comparison is useful to make informed decisions. Cultivate a habit of mastering each mathematics concept through consistent practice. Practice is very important in mathematics. We want the children to practice. Practice makes perfect. In school, we have a few things, quite a few things that the children need to do. We have weekly problem sum, mental sum, speed math, the maths workbook, math topical worksheets, as well as another heuristics adventure, which is basically problem solving. At home, we will request that when your child is doing his or her problem sum or homework, do advise them to write out a complete solution. Some children tend to do shortcut and just put the answer down. With the answer down, we do not know what is the thinking that is going on when they solve the problem. So it's important for them to write down the whole process so we can advise them accordingly. It'll be good to allocate 30 minutes a day for them to practice. Thank you very much. Move on. Mother tongue department will continue to talk.
We now invite Mr. HOD for Mother Tongue Languages, who will present for all 3 languages, Chinese language, Malay language, and Tamil language. Mr. Please, thank you.
Good morning, parents. I'm Mr. the Mother Tongue HOD. I would like to share with you the Mother Tongue curriculum for P1. Okay. We start with the vision of Mother Tongue Department. Our vision is every Zhenghua student is proficient in the use of mother tongue languages by the time they finish P6. And this is achieved through our mission by providing a conducive environment. And We want to achieve this through providing collaboration opportunities, training, basic language skills, academic programs, cultural appreciation, and global exposure to nurture students with morality and achievements. And to achieve this, we need to focus on the core language skills. That means the 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay. And if you are curious enough, or in the excitement of preparing your child for P1 this year, you flick through the textbook, you'll find that, okay, these are the 3 types of textbook. And please take note that Hindi is not offered in our school. Then what you discovered, okay, as you flick through the pages, you find that it is actually organized by teams. And in these teams, there are some main characters to follow through the students' learning from one unit to another unit. Okay, and in these units, they'll be given some little task or performance tasks to do. While completing all these tasks, they actually pick up the language skills. So these are some examples of P1 learning. Okay. Okay, so when they do through all this, when they perform all these little skills, they'll pick up the listening and speaking skill, because they learn by listening first, understanding the instructions, and through speaking, then and it is followed on later by the writing skills, which comes in the later part of the year. So the teachers will use very explicit teaching and very structured to make the students understand the instructions. And all these skills are infused in an organic way into the different teaching blocks in the units. And it is based on, if you have flicked through the pages of the textbook, it is based on everyday setting where students are taught to express their feelings, articulate their views, for example, going to school for the first day, visiting the canteen, playgrounds, and at home. So they use this every setting to create the opportunity for them to talk about it, to articulate their view and communicate with their friends in an effective way. So these are some more examples. For example, in the Chinese textbook, you have this 听说剧场. If I translate literally, it is listening and speaking theater. So they'll learn to some setting at home or in the school where they pick up all the different language structures or different components, and they learn the new words through in the Chinese phonic ways, quite Ping Yin Chen Bao. After they can see the 2 students acting it out. Okay, so while learning and doing all these little stuff, the children will learn to ask questions, they will learn to respond to questions confidently and politely. And sometimes the teachers will have small group discussions where they design learning activities to allow classroom discussions, and students will learn to speak in turn in small groups and will guide them, facilitate the discussion. This is how they pick up the listening and speaking skill effectively. Okay, and sometimes the student may be asked to present. There'll be a lot of opportunity for them to talk and speak in mother tongue, maybe show and tell, or maybe they get a little toy from home and present it, and they'll do role play as well, okay, to allow students to get the situation so that they can express themselves using mother tongue. Okay, and if they learn the phonics, they learn some words eventually. So, for example, by the second half of the year, the second semester, okay, they can move on to learning how to write it, and reading will come in. And this involves guiding students into context of the passage to evoke their learning interest. And this reading may take a lot of forms. It can be ebooks, children magazines, and resources from the internet sourced by the teachers. So this is what the teachers would do in the classroom. So what you can do at home, you can also do your part to help a child. Okay, I'll call it RRLLU. Okay, R, the first R is stand for read good storybooks, newspaper articles, magazine in MTL. We have a child at home. Role model it, the language, by encouraging your child to speak mother tongue languages at home. And the other L, the next L is actually library. Go to a library and borrow empty books as well, followed up by talking about the plot, characters in the books. And the next L is listen to radio, watch TV programs in MTL. And the last U is use a small whiteboard to co-write a few simple sentences with your child, and maybe revise the spelling words or revise the spelling phonics with your child or new words using the whiteboard. So just remember RRLLU. you. Rolls-Royce likes to listen to you. Okay, these are some of the useful MTL learning resources for you for CL, ML, and TL. Okay, you don't have to take photographs of this because all these slides will be put on the school website. Okay, with that, I thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ah. We now move on to the next sharing by our dear head, Mrs. Lee. She will now share on student development matters and well-being. Thank you. Mrs. Lee, please.
Okay, good morning, parents. I'm Mrs. Lee here. Okay, let me introduce myself. I am the Primary 1 year head. Okay, together with me, Madam Xiao, Primary 2 Assistant Year Head. Both of us are the SDT, the Student Development Team for Lower Primary. So both of us will look into the student well-being of our Primary 1, also the Primary 2 matters. Okay, this is just a reminder. The school hours for Primary 1 today is until 12:30. Tuesday to Friday for this whole week, our school hours for Primary 1 is 7:30 to 11. From next week onwards, the children will come to school full day, Monday to Thursday, 7:30 to 1:10 p.m. On Fridays, 7:30 to 12:40 p.m. And we will start our official snack time for P1 next week, and it will be 11 a.m. Okay, so this is a reminder. Please help us. We need your cooperation to notify the teachers immediately, and do not send your children to school if they are unwell, or if anyone in your household is issued with the stay-home notice or home quarantine order. If there's any adult 18 years and above staying in the same household is unwell with flu-like symptoms, please do not send your child to school as well. Okay, our form teachers may have reiterate this to you. Please get ready this. The child must bring and wear this lanyard every day to school. And this lanyard should have the information filled up, such as the school bus number, okay, or even how they are being dismissed by, for example, gate 2 or gate 3. All this information should be filled up, and please put down your contact number as well. So this is to help our teacher to send your child to the correct dismissal point during our dismissal time. Okay, so they should wear this lanyard every day. Okay, I should start the next segment now. The aim of the primary education is to lay a strong foundation and is to nurture the whole child, values, life skills, and even social behavior. Okay, to develop the whole child, every subject is important. Assessment is part of learning. So when the teacher teaches in the class, the child learns a new topic or skill. The teacher assesses the child will show how much he or she has learned. The teacher gives feedback. So once the child gets feedback, the child will try to make improvement and the teacher will adjust the teaching. So this is the cycle of assessment. In primary 1 and 2, we talk a lot about holistic assessment. In short, we call HA. Okay, this is to support the learning and the development of the child. From 2019 onwards, there are changes to the school-based assessment. For P1 and P2, all the weighted assessment has been removed. Okay, instead of using the marks, we use qualitative descriptors to report the learning in all the subjects. At the end of P1 and P2, for the EduSafe Merit Bursary or Good Progress Award, we use learning disposition to select the students. So these are the changes. Now, assessment at primary 1, there are different types of assessment. Just now, some of the subject HOD they mentioned. So we have different types. For example, topical review, short writing, some reading, performance tasks. These assessments are shorter, okay, and they are more frequent. They are non-weighted. So some example for English, it will be like show and tell, reading aloud, some story writing. Mother tongue, we have reading tasks, simple writing tasks. Okay, these are some of the rubrics that the teacher will use to assess your child. We do have self and peer assessment. For Max, just now the Max HOD also mentioned, we have bite-sized review, journal writing. A range of appropriate assessment tasks will also be used to assess other subjects like arts lesson, music lessons, and PE lessons. So how will HA benefit your child? So there are more opportunities to show learning, caters to wider range of learning styles, and there are more regular and more timely feedback. So that will make your child gain more confidence, and they are more motivated to learn, and they will enjoy learning. So how can you help your child? Now, don't compare your child's performance with the other friends or neighbors. Okay, do not give more homework than necessary or give it as punishment. Okay, do monitor your child's daily work, give encouragement and support in areas for improvement, and praise your child for any progress made. Okay, how do you receive the feedback on your child's progress? In the book list, you may have noticed this thick file. This is called the Holistic Assessment Portfolio file. Termly progress reports will be shown in this file. We will return this file to you every term. It contains a good sample of your child's work and performance tasks in all the different subjects, with rubrics and teachers' comments. So mid-year and year-end, you will also get the report cards with the qualitative descriptors to show your child's learning and the comments given by the form teachers. In term 2, towards the end, we will also have parent-child teacher conference so that you can come to the school if COVID-19 allows, this pandemic allows us to invite you to come to the school. You will meet the teacher for this parent-child teacher conference. Okay, the next segment that I'm going to talk about is called PAL, Program for Active Learning. This is a primary 1 and primary 2 program. The two broad areas in PAL are sports and outdoor education and performing and visual arts. The objectives is to provide students with exposure and experiences through fun and varied activities. Okay, the teachers will facilitate holistic development in the 5 domains, and we will provide varied avenues to develop social emotional competencies. The characteristics of PAL lessons are experiential in nature, learning in creative way, opportunities for children to create their own lessons, incorporates values education and SEL, and fun and enjoyable lessons. So for PAL in P1, we have 3 components: outdoor education, visual arts, and sports and games. There are 3 modules, and each module spans about 7 weeks, and every week you have about 2 hours of PAL. Some classes will have PAL on Thursday, some will have it on Friday. So what are students expected to learn through PAL? Okay, during PAL lessons, we have many activities for them. So the children should exhibit confidence in what they do and express themselves effectively. We also allow them to learn and then come up with and exhibit curiosity and positive attitudes during their interaction with their friends. And we also want them to enjoy group experiences and teamwork. So in a nutshell, the social sphere for children requires them to interact with their friends. So we make PAL a lot of experiences, a lot of opportunities for them to work with each other. So PAL offers learning experiences, and then they are mainly active and hands-on and meaningful activities. So we use PAL to have these opportunities for children to apply appropriate social skills and disposition for interaction with others from different backgrounds. Okay, with this, I will pass the microphone to the next speaker.
We invite Mrs. Yeo, our HOD for CCE, who will share with us now. Thank you.
Good morning, parents. I'll be sharing with you on our character and citizenship education program in our school. In short, I will refer it as CCE. Okay. The aim of CCE is to develop value-centered students who can tell right from wrong, make responsible decisions, and become more aware of their roles in the society. In Chunghwa Primary School, we have 6 core values, and which we refer to as the RICE value, R-I-I-C-C-C-E. Okay, so they are resilience, integrity, innovation, care, collaboration, and excellence. This is the framework that you see across all MOE schools. And right in the middle, you will always find the core values, because that is the foundation of character, and it provides the compass for behavior in schools. Okay, and then to achieve the core values, we need to equip students with social and emotional competencies, the skills, the knowledge, and the dispositions that will enable them to manage themselves and their relationships with others effectively and make responsible decisions. Okay. Other than character, we also equip them with skills related to citizenship, and that will enable our students to function effectively as active citizens and stay rooted to Singapore. So this is the framework that MOE uses. But in Chunghwa Primary School, we believe that values are taught, caught, and lived out. Therefore, we have another framework that we follow very closely in our school, and that is the learn, apply, and reflect framework. Okay. Where do they learn? Where do they learn character, citizenship, and leadership? They learn through explicit teaching and intentional integration of CCE across the curriculum and the core curriculum. And then they learn leadership through the tiered student leadership development structure. They apply through the authentic platforms that we provide across the curriculum and core curriculum for them to lift out the school values, to demonstrate SEL and leadership, to serve the school, the community, and the nation. Our students also engage in regular reflection on what they have learned and how they have applied their learning. They also learn to assess themselves and give feedback to their peers. The students learn, our students learn also through Study Right. So this week, primary 1 to primary 6, we do not start the lessons, we do not start our teaching straight away. We start everything right by teaching them, putting in place routines and procedures. Okay. We also let them learn through pre-assembly and assembly talks, our form teacher guidance period, and extra form teacher guidance period plus that we have in our school, PAL, which is already shared by Mrs. Lee earlier on, mother tongue and CCE lessons, as well as social studies lessons. So there is intentional integration of CCE across all subjects. They apply to class projects, through PAL, through PAM, okay, the PE Art and Music program, to ALP, to the Values in Education program, and in their CCAs as well. Okay, they also apply what they have learned through leadership roles and assignments, through local and overseas learning journeys, probably later on in their journey, in their primary school journey, not in primary 1, and through the cohort camp. Okay, they reflect during FTGP, during BIA, and e-core events, we celebrate National Day, and during PCTC. Okay, and when students commit an offense in our school, we also get them to do a reflection. Okay. So our children are never too young to learn. What you see here are actually primary 2 students going out there, speaking to the public about returning trays after they have finished eating. Okay, so they are very bold. Our children can be very bold. They're not shy. So they are able to apply what they have learned in school. Okay. The reflection that you see on the left is done by a primary 1 child. When we got the child to reflect on his own, what he can do better for next year, the child can say that, you know, I can complete my work on my own. I can ask for permission before borrowing any items. I can pay more attention during lesson. This is what the child aspires to improve on next year, which is this year. And then when we get their friends to give them feedback, friends are able to give them both positive feedback as well as ideas for them to improve. Like, I like that you always play with me, but you should try to be louder and don't be so shy. So another friend has given the child the feedback that I like that you are very kind, but you should try to do addition, multiplication, subtraction on your own. So our primary 1s are capable of applying what they have learned, and they are capable of doing their own reflection, okay, reflecting on what they have learned. Okay. Now, the first 3 words in our school vision that you see will be leaders of characters. So what does it mean to be a leader of character? When a student is a leader of character, we see that the student will do the right thing for the right reasons, even when no one is watching. And this student will consistently lift out the school values, enjoy positive relationships with his or her peers and teachers, have a sense of personal well-being and effectiveness, and make responsible choices guided by the values and enabled by our social emotional competencies. Okay. To develop our children's character, leadership, and citizenship, parents, you play a very important role. Okay. And students benefit the most when the homeschool environments are attuned to each other. And a number of studies have already shown that there is this connectedness between homeschool collaboration to better learning. So parents' active involvement in school, it is important. So please do join the parent support group to play a more active role, right? Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Yeo. We now invite our HOD for Aesthetics, PE and Partnerships, Mrs. Avanesh, who will share with us about the physical education, art, music, learning for life program, in short, LLP. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, parents. I'm Mrs. Ravina, HOD for Aesthetics, PE and Partnership. Today, I'll be sharing on this following subjects. Okay, I will start off with PE department. Basically, the vision for PE department is very simple. We want all our students to be responsible for their health and to lead a very healthy lifestyle. And how do we get that done? We want to provide the opportunities for them to be engaged in physical activities and also to acquire the knowledge as they learn. Okay, at a glance, these are the curriculum that we have. The one on the left is the national PE curriculum that's mandated by MOE. And of course, the ones on the right are our school's own customized PE curriculum. Those that have been highlighted in red are the ones that the PE ones will get to experience, and I'll share more shortly. Okay, on top of that, this year, in fact, last year, we started on this Body and Mind series. And this is to be conducted throughout the year with specific focus for each term. So if you look at it, term 2, we have vision care, term 3, we have oral care and so on. It will be taking a blended learning approach because some will be taught in school, and then the kids will get to also revisit what they have learned through the Student Learning Space portal. So apart from teaching the skills, by end of P3, students would have acquired the following social and emotional competencies, because PE is not just about fun and play, but they also learn to work together with their friends. So we are looking into the SEL, social and emotional competencies. So by end of P3, they are expected to acquire the following. So these are some of the examples that we have of our customized curriculum, PE curriculum that the P1s will get to experience. So we have an unstructured time for them to play, but this is done within the level. Is during their recess time. We have specific designated areas for the kids to actually just loosen themselves and have fun. Okay, this is our P1 to P4 Amaze Chenghua race. Usually it's packed together with the Children's Day. This last year, unfortunately, we couldn't bring the Active SG come down. We normally partner with them to have organize this. So instead, we had a bingo challenge that was done in class. And through the challenge, we also raised funds for the needy. Okay, the Fruity Veggie program that we have in the ICANN. A weight management program that we have, which is conducted throughout the year. Students are being identified, and we'll take a 6-pronged approach. So we'll teach them the skills, how to also have their own physical activities, to be motivated to do the physical activities. And then we will also need your support when we need to get the students down as well. Or maybe we give them certain tasks that we need to carry out at home, certain activities. So we will need parent support. And okay, of course, when we talk about all this physical education, you will have what are the safety management measures that you have in place. Be rest assured that we have everything in mind and everything in place while the kids have fun. So for example, in terms of spacing, you'd already see that the areas have been demarked, and they always wash their hands before and after PE lessons as well. And even the areas in the hall has already been demarked in such a way that only a specific number of classes can be in the hall at a go. So we are also adhering to the SMN. In terms of equipments, they will always be desanitized at the start and the end of every PE session, and students are actually trained to do so with our PE teachers' guidance, of course. Okay, just to give you a heads up, your kids will be expected to bring a PE bag. They need to pack a PE bag on the days they're having their PE lesson. More information will be given by their respective PE teachers during their PE lessons. But what goes into the bag, basically it is a bag to contain all their belongings. And also, of course, the hand sanitizer and everything go in. It's about teaching them personal hygiene as well. So look out for this information from the PE teacher. Right, now I will move on to the aesthetics side, and I would like to package everything as a whole because Chenhua's arts education encompasses all these 4 areas: music, art, dance, and drama. And our Learning for Life program is creative arts. And what do we aim to achieve? We want every student an expressive learner by learning all these various art forms in our school. It's not moving. Okay. Sorry, it's not moving. Just give me a minute.
Just crash.
Dear parents, just give us a few minutes as we are experiencing technical difficulties. Thank you.
Okay, good to go. All right, thank you, parents. Thank you for your patience. All right, when I was talking about the arts education, it's very simple. We have one, learning in the arts. So the kids learn the different art forms as they sell. They learn the skills, they learn the culture and everything. And on top of that, we also have learning through the arts. So what is this learning through the arts? You know, this various arts education, right? They impart certain thinking skills, creative skills, and they have a lot of skills that goes into these various art forms. So we want them to not see them in silos, but rather see the interconnection that they can make with the other subjects as well. So for example, the creative thinking that can be applied across other subjects. So these are the areas that we want students to know that if I learn something in art, I can also apply that knowledge in my maths or science lesson. So that is another area that our school is working very well on, and we will continue to do so. And of course, as much as we learn about the arts, we also want to serve the community. So we have a strong arts outreach program whereby we go out and educate the community or serve the community through the arts. So it's our way of promoting the arts. Just to let you know, our arts education are well supported by literature. So we engage the various thinking routines to teach the arts, be it the music, arts, or dance, and the drama as well, to nurture the students and think beyond the curriculum. So this is our overview of our overall arts education that we have that cuts across the 4 disciplines. It's very customized and personal to Chenhua Primary School. We have also packaged them in such a way that they learn a culture in each level, because we talk about cultural vibrancy. So for example, if you look at primary 3, they learn about Malay culture. So they will learn about a Malay musical instrument. They learn batik art and the Malay dance. So this is a way we kind of streamline our arts to give them a holistic experience. So our arts, there are 2 tiers. One is a broad-based program, a customized program, and of course tier 2, when they move on to primary 2, if those who are interested in the arts and they would like to learn more, they can join our enrichment. We call it the MAD, Music, Arts and Dance Enrichment Program, and they can also join in our talent development program as well. Okay, last year was a very trying year, especially for the arts education scene, yet our school managed to retain its vibrancy. So I just wanted to show you an overview of what we did last year. We started off with our pre-assembly program. So if we couldn't bring students in and we couldn't do much about art, so it's okay. We went online and then we had a whole series of music, arts and dance appreciation. We brought in artists to talk to the students, and we also had a platform to recognize and affirm students who were involved in the arts. So that was done under our Arts Alive at ZHPS. So at this point, parents, I also want to ascertain that this is really important. So it's a need for your students to be in the school by 7:25, because we have reached pre-assembly programs that are running from 7:10 onwards. So if they come in early, they will not miss all this. So while everyone was at home during the home-based learning and during the circuit breaker, we actually embarked on a virtual museum-based learning, and we piloted it with National Gallery. So if you can see, this is a still image that the child created after looking at a portrait that was given by the curator. So this is something very new, and we embarked on it last year, and it was successful. So when we came back to our schools, returned to school in phase 2, we implemented it across the level, and we were very heartened to know that our hard work paid off, because the National Gallery in fact said that it was the best setting that we have ever created for the students, and it was the best virtual tour experience they ever had after working with a lot of other schools as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we actually invited artists to come in during our assembly program through the Google, and then they actually shared on their artwork, and we tied in with our ALP, Applied Learning Program. And it was an assembly program, but just to let you know, this was not like you just sit and listen, but rather it was interactive, because we got students to even ask questions to the artists. So this was a well thought through program that we actually had. So for the primary 1 and primary 2 teachers, we actually underwent a 40 hours drama workshop, and that's how we are starting off drama this year in a full-fledged. And we have also started incorporating them in the Stella. This is our dance arts education lesson, P1 to P6 DARE lessons that we have, which I've already shared. So let's move on. Okay, this is the DARE lessons are not in silos, but we cut it across. So if you look at the dance lesson, it was actually tied in with their Stella booklet, the Chinese opera game, and it was a part of an arts integration. Our PE also supports our dance because they have a module on dance in their PE syllabus, and they work with PESTA to do this creative movement where they explore, create, and perform and respond with students. So if you look at the picture on the right, these are the responses on students on what they think about the creative movement. Do they feel good about it, or they feel they have learned something? So there's a lot of interaction and engagement with students because we want to hear the students' voice as well. Okay, at the same time, last year, our teachers were in fact invited to present in the Arts Education Conference on what are the arts programs that we have done. So for the music, because you all know that we went onto the home-based learning mode. So last year, the music department itself came up with 42 online lessons. You know, it was created by the 3 teachers for the home-based learning. So this was again recognized by the MOE, and they were asked to present at the arts conference. So for the art, they actually work on giving students a voice, creative voice and choice. So it's not about those days where we only look at the product, but it's really about the process. So we had our art teacher who went to share about how they go through this 10-week of art making process of the students. They choose their own materials in the product that they want to create. So for the dance, I actually went on to share about how we teach character through dance. So again, this was also well received at the Arts Education Conference. And it's not something that's new, but it's something that we have actually built across the years. All right, with that, I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Evanesh. We now invite our HOD for curriculum, Ms. Poon, who will share with us about ZHPS ALP, Advocates and Innovators for Sustainable Living. Ms. Poon, please. Thank you.
Good morning, parents. Our school's ALP, Advocates and Innovators for Sustainable Living, is a meaningful area of applied learning that is relevant to students' lives and connected to real-world issues. Through the ALP, students function as problem solvers and agents of change to create new value for the home, the school, and the community. In the process of addressing sustainable living issues in their advocacy and innovation projects, our students are given opportunities to demonstrate values in action, to be concerned citizens and active contributors. Your child can look forward to be exposed to thinking frames, learning journeys, guided maker activities, which all lead to an authentic purpose. Your child will also experience learning situated in a very meaningful context and realize they have a voice and are never too young to be catalysts for change in their community. Students are presented with authentic issues, which provides a platform to encourage the student voice and agency. In the process, our students also develop 21st century competencies, such as being an innovative thinker and effective communicator. Here are more of our student value creation in advocating and innovating for sustainable living. We also work with knowledgeable others, such as partners from NIE, National Institute of Education, the Northwest CDC, and they serve as genuine audience for our students to pitch and to refine their ideas. Our students gain different perspectives and also build confidence speaking with these partners. So thank you very much, and we hope your child will have a very meaningful learning experience embarking on the ALP journey with their friends and teachers.
Thank you, Ms. Poon. We will now have our HOD ICT, Madam Yo, who will share with us on ICT matters. Thank you. Madam Yo, please.
Good afternoon, parents. My name is Madam Evelyn Yo. I'm the head of department for ICT. Today I'll be sharing with you about the ICT matters in our school. Okay, in Changhua, the ICT department's vision is to have every staff and student to be competent in the use of ICT to carry out self-directed and collaborative learning in a safe and responsible manner. With this vision in mind, the ICT department has the mission to enhance the ICT environment that supports and guides all staff and students to be engaged in teaching and learning. In 2015, MOE rolled out the ICT Master Plan 4 with a vision to nurture every student to be future ready and responsible learner. This is with the intention to place quality learning in the hands of every learner, empowered with technology. In Zhenghua, we have the necessary infrastructure to make this happen. Our school is covered with school-wide wireless network to enable access to the internet wirelessly. To support this, we have mobile cards for teachers to loan out hardware devices such as laptops, iPads, and even VR devices for teaching and learning. Our teachers go through professional development where they hone their skills to design quality lessons infused with ICT. Our students have baseline lessons every year in their 6 years with us. There will be occasions of home-based learning where students apply their baseline skills to complete a subject-based task. In our schools, there are also various ICT signature programs where your child will learn the necessary media literacy skills. Together with the CCE department, cyber wellness topics will also be taught during the FDGP lessons. This is our ICT curriculum for this year. They'll be in P1 students, they will be introduced to the basics of computing. They also learn basics of touch typing and complete a baseline end product. It'd be good for parents that you can expose your child to keyboard, simple typing, because based on our experience, students often get a shock when they found that the alphabets on the keyboard are not sequentially arranged, where B is not beside A. So it'd be good that you can teach them ahead. Okay, in our school, we have a series of signature programs which are ICT infused. Students, other than attending baseline lessons, teachers also conduct ICT infused lessons in the class. Out of the class, there may also be applied learning project, which was shared by Ms. Poon earlier, where students learn how to cooperate and collaborate with one another and learn. And in that process, students learn self-directed learning. And during school term, there will be also occasions where teachers bring students out of their classrooms for learning journeys, or even have mobile learning trails where students will be given devices to complete a task. Our school also have home-based learning, where teachers will assign holiday homework and some may require them to make use of the computers to complete them. In 2018, MOE rolled out the Student Learning Space, in short the SLS. It is an online learning platform that aims to provide every student from primary to pre-U level with equal access to quality, curriculum-aligned learning resources anytime and anywhere. So what can your child do with SLS? They can revise their subjects at home, learn with their built-in interactives such as lessons, simulations, quizzes, and videos. With the proliferation of learning apps around, parents may ask, why do we want to use SLS? First and foremost, it is a one-stop learning platform which covers all subjects and all levels. It's also important that the learning packages in SLS are relevant to the MOE syllabus, which cover a wide range of topics. This platform is free, fun, and interactive, so your child can learn anytime, anywhere at their own pace. As ICT forms part of our school total curriculum, our teachers do use some of these learning applications or portal in their lessons, or they may assign them as homework for your child to complete over the weekend or school holidays. I would also like to take this opportunity to share with you the NEU PC Plus program, which offers students and persons with disabilities from low-income households the opportunity to own a brand new computer at an affordable price. However, please do note that there are certain criteria that needs to be met and is subjected to IMDA's approval. As shared earlier, there'll be occasions where your child needs to use the computer to complete their homework. So do trust and support your child when the need arises. As a part of parent-child bonding, parents, you can actually sit beside your child to assist and monitor their learning. At the P1 level, they may even need you to sit beside them as they learn how to log in using their username and password. Allowing the child to have access to the use of computer also involves setting limits. So it is important that parents set aside time and limit to ensure that they learn discipline, responsibility, and resilience, which is part of the character values. As mentioned earlier, to help your child stay safe and have positive experiences, you can actually organize more outdoor activities together, activate parental controls on the home devices, model good digital habits for your child, set ground rules, navigate the internet together to actually introduce them some of these cyber wellness values. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I believe have already been informed of the Parents Gateway. Actually, it's a mobile app that connects parents and schools on key admin matters, allowing schools to send updates and activities to parents. So basically, it aims to aggregate parent-teacher communications in a very centralized digital format in this platform. So basically, we will advise parents to get on board the Parents Gateway to really get yourself, really understand what are the school activities and what the different support that you can give to your child. So this is how the Parents Gateway app looks like. So you can visit the Parents Gateway via the link as indicated in the slides. So these are some of the useful links that parents you can actually go to. Okay, this is a screen capture of our school website, and most of the important info are available here. So our website is regularly updated, so you can have access to the gallery of the recent school programs and activities. So I would like to especially draw your attention to the next slide, which is over here in the school portal. You can have access to the school term calendar, the exam calendar, and the assessment letter, where you have more details on what the different tests and expectations that are over the terms. Okay, last but not least, these are some of the useful links about cyber wellness. So the Media Literacy Council believes that all of us can play a role, and not only to create a safe, conducive, and fun online environment for work and play, but also to protect the freedom and empowerment that the internet has given us. Okay, all these slides will be uploaded at our school website at the end of the orientation program. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Yeo. We will now have Madam Anuradha, our Senior School Counsellor, who will share with you on the support system, all right, how to support your child's transition to primary 1. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. We've got 10 minutes and I'm going to do my best to make it very fast. And I also need your cooperation because after the end of my presentation, you as parents will have a bit of a homework to do. Okay, so my name is Anu and I'll make it very fast. Let's go to the next slide right now. The entire purpose here is to build a caring home and a school environment to nurture the social and emotional skills of your child. One important thing that we have to realize is that it's only when our child is happy on the inside that learning can take place easily. Many times we put expectations on our children, but sometimes we need to look into their social, emotional welfare as well. And we encourage parents to work alongside with the school because we can't go far if the parents are not stakeholders with us. So very quickly, we'll go through the SAFE tips, which is to support, affirm, familiarize, and empathize. Support, we talk about committing some time every day to talk with your child, to spend time. You can read the slides, but the point that I want to make here is that, you know, with the advent of technology, the mobile phone, social media has taken over our lives. And in my discussion with children over the years, the concern that has always come is that my parents are always hanging time with the mobile. They're always on social media and they're not spending time with us. And I think when we are aware, we will realize that we ourselves are caught up in that race and we have lost awareness. So what we would look for is that for us to all work together, parents do set aside some time for your family, for yourself, and do talk to children because communication, face-to-face communication is so important. We should not allow mobile devices or social media to run our families. We need to be the voice, and your voice would frame the life of your child. Go to the next one. Affirm your child, and here we talk about encourage your child and make observation. Encourage your child. Our words can either heal or our words can hurt. And many times in our frustrations, we may say words that may hurt. We may not mean it. So there needs to be awareness. I know with COVID and with whatever's been happening, and we have to make ends meet, we have to work. There will be times when we are tired. The tendency to brush aside our children will happen. It does happen. But what we need to do is have a practice. Even if we are not used to it, have a practice of affirming, and affirm your spouse, affirm your children, and that will really help. So when your child comes and does something, say that's interesting, and encourage and speak more. Recognize small successes. It's back to affirmation. You can read the slide. It's just to encourage your child, because when you start to encourage, you open windows, you open doors for your child to express even more. Familiarize. You just heard what everyone had to share, and so get familiarized with what's happening in the school. And it's important to respond and to have two-way communication with the school as well. Do practical things to ease your child. Your child is coming into primary 1. And so do spend time to pack the bags. I think we have resources, we have videos created by the school to help your children pack the bags, putting stationery in. So walk through the child, and just do not do it once and expect the child to follow through. You may have to follow it for a long time, because some of our children, they develop slowly, and we have to walk through with them. So that's what we encourage you to do as well. Another thing is to empathize. Teach your child to describe feelings, whether they're feeling happy, sad, angry, anxious, and validate those feelings. Don't just go up and tell them, hey, don't feel scared. Don't do this. Express, let them allow, give them a space to express themselves, to tell them, let them allow to tell you how they feel. Give them that platform, and you need to give them that time. Yeah, we'll move on. Just one very quick note is that, start your bedtime early with the child. Ensure that your child goes to bed early, not at 11 or 12. Ensure that when your child is going to bed, the last thing that the child sees is your face, or you reading a book, and not the social media, not the mobile phone. Let's not make that the nanny of our homes. Another important thing is to talk, to ask, and to discuss. And you can share whatever's happened in your life. So I'll leave this, and let's move on to the next slide. Quick tips: listen without interrupting, nod your head, hold on to your emotions, and be involved. As I was preparing the slides, I was telling myself, we have come to a point whereby we have to write this down to create awareness. And it's something that I learned as well in my life's journey. So you know what? Even as the slides are being uploaded, do refresh yourself, even as you go and have a look at it. We'll move on. The process of parenting can be rewarding, enjoyable, frustrating, but it is also teachable, and we all learn through trial and error. There's a couple of other slides that I've prepared. I'm going to run it very quickly for you. Over the years as a counselor in the school, and one important thing is that the parenting skills and responsibilities are important. When I came to school and I saw parents, buy the books, I saw some daddies measuring up the uniforms and all of that. It was fantastic, and it was really heartwarming. But what I also want to share is that our parenting skills and responsibilities include a lot of other things. The continuing education unit requires that our children come to school and be educated for 10 years of their lives. And this is so very important in the lives of our children, and we have to see through that. And for parenting skills and responsibilities, there is the aspect of child guidance, legal and moral responsibilities, financial responsibilities, health and safety responsibilities, social emotional responsibilities, and cognitive development. I'll run very quickly. You can look at this. It's whereby you need to give your child the age-appropriate activities to do. Let's look at the social emotional aspect, is whereby you need to show affection, nurturing, positive self-esteem, and all of that. There's also the financial part. So what we want to implore with the parents is that if there is any need, there's always the FSC, there's always the SSO, and you can always come up to the school and share what your concerns are, and we are there to support you, because it's only when you are strongly supported and you feel you can move on, that's when your child will also be supported as well. I wanted to show a video, but we're running out of time, so I'll load it up later. But what we're going to do is one very quick exercise for all of you. Okay, we've got the last 5 minutes. And what we're going to do is, it's talking about affirmations for your children. The teachers are going to give out some cards to you. And what we encourage you to do is write a commitment pledge. Write an affirmation for your child. We tried this out last year, and we found out that when the teachers started reading this out to their children, the children were smiling. The little ones were actually smiling. So remember, your words will become their inner voice. Your words will build it through. And the reason why we want you to write it down is we want to paste this in the class, and we want the children to have a look that mommy and daddy have said something for them. So please do take time. Do not rush through the words. I know we may be running short of time, but this is one opportunity for you as parents to leave a mark of yourself in their class. So we'll give this time to you to do that. And with that, I end my presentation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So they are doing class activity.
Okay, dear parents, before we end the session, we would like to remind you of the following. First of all, parents, if you have not downloaded the Parents Gateway app, please do so. Let me now share with you how it looks like. Our HOD ICT also shared with you earlier, okay, what it is. Let me share with you very quickly. It is a mobile app that connects parents and schools on key admin matters, allowing schools to send updates on programs and activities to parents and for parents to perform admin functions, okay, such as providing consent for your children to participate in school activities. It really aims to aggregate parent-teacher communication securely on a centralized digital platform. It is integrated with existing MOE record systems, so updates will be reflected in Parents Gateway in real time. So who can access the Parents Gateway? The access is granted to parents and legal guardians of students studying in MOE schools in Singapore. So you will need your SingPass, all right, to access Parents Gateway. All right. Okay, now with that, we end today's session. We hope you had a wonderful time with your children today at Changhua Primary School. All right. For today, we thank you for your support and your presence. From tomorrow onwards, you will not be able to join your children to accompany your child. So we would like you to send your children at either gate 2 or gate 3. If you are driving, you can drive in all the way to the foyer, and your children can alight accordingly. Now, please also take note, from Tuesday to Friday, please do send your children by 7:25 a.m. Okay, between 7:10 to 7:25 a.m. And also take note that we will end at 11 a.m. So please be punctual when during dismissal. All right. Okay. With that, we thank you very much, and you can carry on with the activity that Madam Anu has tasked you earlier. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.